The first thing everyone noticed was the ring. It was a huge diamond, the kind of ring that could have paid for a house in a small American town. The second thing everyone noticed was the man wearing the wedding suit. He wasn't rich. He wasn't famous. He wasn't even supposed to be at the wedding. He was a single father named Daniel Carter, a hardworking mechanic who had spent most of his life trying to give his 8-year-old daughter, Lily, a better childhood than the one he had. And standing beside him was Emma Whitmore, a 29-year-old woman whose family owned one of the largest construction companies in the country. People whispered as they watched the ceremony. Why would she marry him? She could have anyone. Something isn't right. But nobody knew the truth, nobody except Emma. And the truth had started 3 months earlier, on a cold, rainy night in Chicago. Daniel was closing his small auto repair shop when he heard someone knocking on the glass door. He looked up. A young woman stood outside in the rain. She was wearing an expensive black coat, but her hair was soaked, and she looked completely lost. Daniel unlocked the door. "Are you okay?" The woman stepped inside. "My car won't start." Daniel looked through the window at the sleek black Mercedes parked outside. "Give me 10 minutes. She nodded quietly. Daniel grabbed his tools and walked into the rain. He opened the hood and quickly discovered the problem. The battery is dead. "Can you fix it?" "I can get it running, but you'll need a new battery." "How much?" "Oh." Daniel wiped his hands with the rag. "For tonight, nothing." The woman stared at him. "Nothing?" "No. You're stranded in the rain. I'm not going to charge you for helping you." She looked surprised. "Most people would." Daniel smiled. "Most people aren't me." She almost smiled back. Her name was Emma. What Daniel didn't know was that Emma had spent the entire evening at a family dinner where her father had announced something that had broken her heart. He wanted her to marry a wealthy businessman named Richard Hale. Richard was 35, successful, charming, and completely wrong for her. Emma had refused. Her father had threatened to cut her off from the family business, so she had driven away without knowing where she was going, until her car stopped. That night, Daniel unknowingly became the first person in months who had treated Emma like a normal human being instead of a wealthy heiress. Before leaving, Emma asked him for his name. "Daniel Carter." She looked at the little name tag on his work shirt. "And you're the owner?" "Owner, mechanic, accountant, janitor, depends on the day." She laughed. For the first time that night, she felt happy, but when she drove away, Daniel forgot about her. Emma didn't. The next morning, she returned with coffee. Daniel looked confused. "You came back?" "You saved me last night." "You don't owe me anything." "I know." She handed him the coffee. "I just wanted to say thank you." That became the beginning of an unusual friendship. Emma started visiting the repair shop. Sometimes she brought coffee, sometimes she brought breakfast, and sometimes she simply sat in the corner while Daniel worked. Eventually, she met Lily. The little girl was 8 years old, smart, quiet, and always carried a small purple backpack. One afternoon, Emma noticed Lily sitting alone while Daniel repaired a truck. "Why aren't you playing with the other kids?" Lily shrugged. "My dad says I shouldn't bother people." Emma smiled. "You wouldn't be bothering me." Lily slowly sat beside her. "Are you my dad's friend?" Emma laughed. "I think so." Lily looked at her carefully. "Do you like him?" Emma nearly dropped her coffee. "Why would you ask that?" "Because Dad smiles more when you're here." Emma looked across the garage. Daniel was working beneath a car, and for some reason her heart began beating faster. Weeks passed. Emma and Daniel grew closer. They talked about everything. Daniel told her about Lily's mother, who had left when Lily was only 2. He told her how difficult it had been raising a child alone. He told her about nights when he had worked 2 jobs just to pay the bills, but he never complained. Emma told him about her father, about the pressure, about being treated like a business asset instead of a daughter. One evening, Emma finally asked him something. If you had enough money to never work again, what would you do? Daniel thought for a moment. Buy a bigger house for Lily. That's it? And maybe take her to Disneyland. Emma smiled. You don't want a luxury car? No. A mansion? Oh, no. A private jet? Daniel laughed. Why would I need a private jet? Emma looked at him. You're different, Ed. Daniel shrugged. I just want my daughter to be happy. That answer stayed with Emma. Then everything changed. One afternoon, Emma's father arrived at the repair shop. He stepped out of a black SUV with 2 security guards behind him. Daniel immediately recognized him from television. Robert Whitmore, billionaire businessman, Emma's father. Robert looked at Daniel as if he were something stuck to his shoe. You're Daniel Carter. Yes. My daughter has been spending a lot of time here. Daniel said nothing. Robert pulled out a check. Name your price. Daniel stared at him. For what? To stay away from Emma. Daniel pushed the check back. You should give that to your daughter. Robert's face hardened. You don't understand who you're dealing with. Daniel stepped closer. I understand perfectly. Robert left. That evening, Emma arrived, furious. My father came here. Yes. I'm sorry. You don't have to apologize for him. She looked at Daniel. Are you afraid of losing me? Daniel didn't answer. Emma stepped closer. I am. Daniel looked at her. Emma, you're rich. I'm not. Your father hates me. Your world is completely different from mine. I don't care. Oh, you might today. No. She shook her head. I won't tomorrow. Then she kissed him. It wasn't planned. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. For the first time in years, Emma felt like she had found someone who loved her for herself. But 3 weeks later, Daniel discovered something that changed everything. He received a letter from a lawyer. The letter claimed that Emma had been diagnosed with a serious heart condition years earlier. Daniel's hands began shaking. He immediately called Emma. She refused to answer. He went to her house. Her father opened the door. She doesn't want to see you. Is it true? Robert's expression changed. You know? Is Emma sick? Robert looked away. She has a condition. It's manageable, but her doctors have warned her that stress could make it worse. Daniel felt crushed. Why didn't she tell me? Because she knew you would stay out of pity. Daniel shook his head. I would never pity her. Robert stared at him. Then leave her. Daniel didn't answer. He walked away. For the next 2 weeks he avoided Emma. She didn't understand. She called him. She came to the garage. She waited outside. Finally, one night, she found him sitting alone. Why are you doing this? Daniel looked at her with tears in his eyes. I know about your heart. Emma froze. My father told you? Yes. She looked down. I didn't tell you because I was afraid. Afraid of what? That you would love me because you felt sorry for me. Daniel stood. I don't love you because you're sick. She looked at him. I love you because you're the first person who ever made me feel like I was enough. Emma began crying. Daniel took her hand. But I need you to promise me something. What? Never hide the truth from me again. No. She nodded. I promise. Then Daniel did something nobody expected. He proposed, not with a diamond, not in a fancy restaurant. He proposed inside his little repair shop. He took a simple silver ring from his pocket. Emma stared at it. Daniel, I can't give you the life your father thinks you deserve. Emma smiled through her tears. But you can give me the life I actually want. She said yes. When Robert heard the news, he was furious. He threatened to disown Emma. He threatened Daniel. He even offered Daniel $5 million to walk away. Daniel refused. The wedding was small. There were only a few dozen people. Lily was the flower girl. Emma wore a simple white dress. Daniel wore a suit he had bought with money he had saved for years. And when Emma walked toward him, Daniel forgot about the money, the family, and everything else. He only saw her. But just before the ceremony ended, Robert stood up. Everyone went silent. Robert looked at Daniel. I owe you an apology. Daniel looked surprised. Robert reached into his jacket and pulled out an old photograph. It showed a young man standing beside a woman. Daniel's face went pale. He recognized the man. It was his father. Robert looked at him. Your father once saved my life. Daniel couldn't speak. Years ago, before I became wealthy, I was broke and drowning in debt. Your father gave me money to keep my company alive. Daniel stared at the photograph. Why didn't he ever tell me? Because he didn't want anything in return. Robert took a breath. Your father believed helping someone should never come with a price. Daniel looked at Emma. Suddenly, everything made sense. Emma hadn't married him because she wanted to rebel against her father. She hadn't married him because she felt sorry for him. She had married him because she had fallen in love with the man he was. And Robert had finally realized that Daniel was the kind of man his daughter needed. Robert stepped toward Daniel. I spent my entire life believing money could protect my family. He looked at Emma. I was wrong. Then he turned to Daniel. Welcome to the family. Months later, Daniel's repair shop changed. Robert offered to invest in it, but Daniel accepted only enough money to expand the business. He didn't want a free fortune. He wanted to build something himself. Emma continued working with her father's company, but she made one thing clear. She wasn't going to live under his control anymore. And Lily? Lily finally got her Disneyland trip. She stood in front of the castle with her father and Emma, holding both their hands. Dad? Yeah? Hey, are we rich now? Daniel laughed. Emma looked at him. We're rich in the ways that matter. Lily thought about it. Then she smiled. Then we're really rich. Years later, people still ask the same question. Why did a rich young woman marry a single dad? The answer was simple. She didn't marry his money. He didn't marry hers. They married because, in a world where everyone was trying to buy something from them, they found something money couldn't buy. Trust, loyalty, and love. And sometimes, the greatest love story isn't about two people who have everything. It's about two people who finally find each other when they have nothing left to prove.